Hey everybody, what's going on? It is Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a game called Deus. Deus is a game published by Pearl Games, at least my version. I don't know, there might be other ones, at least mine. Designed by Sebastian Dujardin. I probably said that incorrectly. I apologize. If your name's not Jason Smith, I'm not going to say your name right. Plays 2 to 4 players, ages 14 plus, 60 to 90 minutes. Time sounds accurate. I've only played 2 players, and it's been about an hour every time. Maybe a little less, so there you go. What you're doing in this game is you are basically a civilization or something. I didn't look at the theme. I don't care about the theme. It's the gameplay that I care about. But you're basically trying to conquer these areas on the board with different kinds of buildings. There's military, there's production, there's civil, there's maritime, a couple other ones that I can't remember. You're trying to get different types of buildings out in these different areas, or maybe, a whole bunch of buildings, but they just can't be the same type out in these areas. And you're going to play cards to do that. And you're also trying to surround these barbarians, because if you can get enough military strength, more than your opponents, you can get the points from these barbarians. That's it. The interesting thing about this game is when you play a card, every building, which is a little wooden piece, takes a card to play. When you play the card, you're going to pay some resources and maybe some money. And then every other card from the bottom to the top is going to activate. So if you build a lot of production buildings, you're going to activate a ton of productions and get a ton of resources. If you have a lot of military buildings, you may be moving around some troops. You may be getting points for being next to some things. You may be able to steal a couple points from your neighbor if you're next to some of their buildings. It's a really cool engine building with representation of what those buildings do on the map. The map is kind of plays a role, but majority of the game is in the card play. So enough talking about it. Let's just go down to the table and see how all that shakes out. Here's a game of Deus all set up for 2 players. Setup is pretty simple. There's actually not a lot of components in this game. We have a deck of cards. You're going to shuffle these cards, deal each player 5, give somebody the first player marker, give each player a player board and all the bits of their color, and you're going to start out with 2 buildings of each color and 1 of each resource: wheat, wood, stone, and clay, and 5 money. Then you're going to put the board out. You're going to use a certain number of boards based on the number of players, or double-sided, flip however you want, and then put it in the arrangement. The only stipulation is 2 of these barbarian tiles cannot be directly next to each other. So like it couldn't be like this. Okay? That's the only stipulation. And then based on the tiles that are surrounding the barbarians, you're going to put that many points. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 on this one, 1, 2, 3 on this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on this one, and 1, 2, 3 on that one. Okay? And then we're on a 2-player game. We're also going to have 4 neutral temples that we can build. And that's also an in-game trigger. Okay? So, let's get playing. So the way the game works is, on your turn, you're going to play a card. Or you're going to take an action. You're either going to play a card, or you're going to discard a card. I'm trying to see what triggers the end of the game. I forget. Temples or barbarian. Yeah, that's right. You're either going to play a card, or you're going to use the favor of the gods by discarding a card. So whatever card would be on top of the cards that you discard is the favor that you would take. However many cards you discard is the strength at which the favor is taken. So this player's going to go first. And I'm just going to build something to show you that. And I'll eventually take the favor of the gods. I'm just not going to do that right now. Okay? So, maybe I don't have anything I want to build. Let's build this one. So I'm going to build a brown. I think it's brown. It looks orange, but it's brown. It has a cost. I need to spend 1 wood. So I spend 1 wood back to the supply. And then I'm going to take one of these houses. I'm going to put it on any tile that I want, okay, with a couple exceptions. Only boats can go on water, and only 1 type of each building can go on there. So if I build that there, I can never put another one of these on that space, okay? But anything else can go there. And then I'm going to activate. So I'm going to put this right here. The first time you place it has to go on the outside of the board. And then you're going to trigger every card that you played bottom up. So at this card, I'm going to gain 3 gold per force that I occupy. I occupy 1, I get 3 gold. Okay, and that's my turn. On your turn, you build a building, or you get the favor of the gods. Then this player, they're going to do their thing. And I like to build these buildings. So we're going to do a production building. Costs 1 gold. Okay. And then I'm going to take that building and I'm going to put it down on the map. And I'm going to put one right. What kind of good do I want to generate? I think I want to generate some wood. So let's put that right here. Okay. Then they're going to trigger. Precisely one of your production buildings, which is this building, produces 1 resource associated with its region. So this region's in the forest. It will get 1 wood. Okay. And that's their turn. All right, back to me. What do I want to do? All right, I'm going to build this workshop. It's going to cost a clay, which is the red disc. But this, I'm going to put this in the same spot. Okay? Then I'm going to activate all of these going up. So gain 1 building per region with at least 2 buildings of my color. I have 1 building, 1 region with 2 buildings of my color. So I can take 1 building of any of these types and put it on my board. And I'm going to grab the agriculture building, I believe. I'm not sure what it is. Market, I think, maybe. And I'm going to take one of those. And that's my turn. All right. Back to this player. Let me clear my throat. Okay, let's see. I love the production buildings. We're going to keep going. All right. So I'm going to spend 3 money. And a wood. And I'm going to put another production building down. I'm going to put this one. Ooh, I'm already in a forest. That's okay. Let's put this one. I'm going to try to start surrounding this barbarian. Then we're going to do this. Exactly 1 of your production buildings will produce 1 resource. So I'm going to do a wood. Actually, I'm going to produce a stone. Choose a forest with 1 production building. Earn 1 wood for each building in this forest. There's 1. I get 1 wood. All right. So I'm producing some resources now. That's the engine that I've got going so far. Back to this hand. I'm probably going to do the favor of the gods so you can see it. And I'm going to use this favor, the green one. So I put a green card on top. I'm discarding 3. Okay, so 3 cards. I'm activating this. Per card that I discard, I get a good of my choice. So I'm going to take this, a stone, and a wood. Okay, so I took those. Then I also get 1 of those buildings. And then I draw back up to 5. So if I still had cards in my hand, it would be whatever 5 minus however many of those cards I have. So that's offering a favor. Okay, let's see. I'm going to try to do a temple too so you can see that. If I get to it, I may not. I need some money. I'm actually going to use the favor of the gods as well. And I'm going to do the maritime. I'm going to put a maritime card for that player. There's 3 cards. So for every card you discard, you get 3 money. So they're getting 6 money. Then they get a boat. Where's the boat? And then they get to draw to 5 cards. All right, so that's 2 of the favors that you can activate. Okay, 5 cards. Back to me. I'm going to build me a quarry. So 3 gold and a stone. And I'm going to put this in a mountain because that's going to pay off for me better. Now, you have to normally go next to something where you are. Or you can skip a space and put something on the outside for 3. So maybe that's not the best card to play right now. Let's take the stone back and let's build this one instead. This will work a little better. So same building, but this is going to go right there. So I'm going to activate all the buildings. Choose a swamp with 1 of your production buildings. Earn 1 clay for each building. I have 1 swamp, 1 building. I get 1 clay. All right, that's my turn. Their turn. Ooh, more production buildings. I love production buildings. All right, I'm going to build this one. Again, there's more thought to what you're doing in here. I'm just playing some stuff so you can see how it works. 2 stone. We're going to put one of these buildings out, and can I get to anything good? I cannot. So I'll just go to this one. Then you'll activate this, gain 1 victory point for each swamp that you occupy. I don't have any swamps, so I get nothing for that. Okay, back to me. I want to do a boat. I want to get more clay first. That's fine. We'll go here. I'm going to sell a stone and a clay. I get a boat. We're going to put the boat right here so I can start getting access to the next tile. And then I get to activate, sell up to 6 clay for 1 point each. I'm going to sell 1 clay, and I get 1 point. I'm now in the lead. All right, and that's how the game's going to keep going. You're going to keep building like that until either all 4 of these are gone or all the barbarians have been defeated. I'm going to show you how a barbarian gets defeated before I wrap this up. So let's go ahead and use this one as an example just because it'll be easy. Let's say this guy built right here, okay? And I had 1... they had 2, but I had 1. Well, they can't do that. That's illegal. So they just had 1, and I had 1. Okay? When this happens, as soon as this is surrounded, whoever has the most military is going to win. So this is completely surrounded. We each have 1 military. Say I had 2, just to make it easier so I don't have to talk about tiebreakers. Whoever has the most military gets those points. I have 2. They have 1. So I would take these 3 points, and these are mine. Okay, nothing moves off the board. This tile's now, this section of the board is now officially dead, and we're 25% of the way to the end of the game. Okay, so that's one of the in-game triggers. There are cards in here that are going to manipulate, may let you steal some of these, let you move your military around to get closer to other ones, all that kind of thing. And there are also some pink cards that look like that. And these cards are going to be how you build the temples, which are these. Now, there are some stipulations when building these. The first one you can just build, okay? As long as you pay 1 of every resource. In order to build a second one, you have to have 1 building of every color built, okay? When you build this, you slot it here. These are going to be in-game points. Then you're going to take this temple and you're going to put it on one of the hexes that you control. Only 1 of these can be on each, so I can have this there because none of these buildings are the same size or same type, okay? That's going to symbolize that I built this temple, okay? Build all 4 of these. That's going to trigger the end of the game as well. And then we're going to add up some in-game points, which are mostly, there's not a ton of them. It's these points that you get during the game. Points awarded by the temples. So at the end of the game, I would get 2 points for every 3 gold that I have, up to 12. And then whoever has the most of each type of resource at the end of the game gets 2 points. Some cards may change that, all that kind of thing. But that's the end of the game scoring. So that is how you play Deus. Let's go up to the top and see what they think about it. All right, so that was Deus. Now, I'm going to talk about these tiles real quick because I played another game. I don't know if it came out first or after. It's called Alismatic Heroes. And the tiles are almost exactly like this. And they're cool hexes that are not hexes. And I like that. The way they fit together, it's pretty neat. Like they just, they go together like that. Really cool. So I just wanted to talk about that. I think the hexes, non-hexes are cool. Now let's talk about the gameplay. This game is amazing. This is everything that I want in a game. It's a cool engine builder. It has just enough area control to not be annoying. I mean, it's a little annoying because someone can steal a couple points from you or a couple coins. But it's not going to end your game or ruin your world. You can just, if I focus all in this one type of building, I think you have 6 of that type of building. I can get 6 cards in this row. When I build that last one, it's going to be amazing. Or I can spread it out so I can build the neutral temples because you got to have 1 of every color to build 2, 2 of every color to build 3, all that kind of thing. And they're really cool in-game points. So I can just do what I want to do, how I want to do it, and the path that I want to take it. I love that. Tons of cards. I don't have the Deus expansion, or not the Egypt expansion. I'd like to get that. It gives you more cards and a couple other mechanisms. But just this base game here, I've played it twice now, or 3 times, maybe two times, and I love it. It does everything I needed to do. Everything. It has symbology on the cards. It has text on the cards. So I don't even need to know what the symbols do because I just read the card. So I love that. I love this game. And I hate that it's taken me so long to finally get a copy. But now that I have it, I'm glad that I do. So I'm going to give this a BGG Accept the Seal. This is going to get an 8.5 out of 10 on BGG, which is a 4.25 out of 5 wrenches on our arbitrary wrench scale. That means absolutely nothing, but we like to give the games that we enjoy. And that's what I'm going to do. So that is Deus from Pearl Games. I'm Jason with the Board Game Mechanics. And as always, keep gaming.